Welcome to the first episode of Michis Esport Diaries in the new year 2025. First of all, of course, Happy New Year to all of you. And today is going to be special because this will actually be a little bit our recap, which we haven't done last year already. As you can already take away from the title, my 2024 solo year is a little bit of a different one than to any sim racing year that I had prior before. And we're going to deep dive a little bit into that in this episode. But first of all, I don't want to start my recap with my personal highlight, but I'm interested in what you guys think has been the highlight of this year on our channel, in our community, in sim racing as a whole, as an esport, as a gaming genre, I want to say. What has been your personal highlight? Maybe with us, maybe all alone. Let me know down in the comments area below. I'm really interested to see what you guys are coming up with. And then we go into our personal highlights. And I have to say, the really personal highlight, that already dropped in February 20th, 2024 already with the Le Mans Ultimate release of the early access game. I am really grateful and really thankful for this happening and for this game to be this great, because I think so many people have been made aware of our channel. So many people came new to the channel. Like, I don't know, I don't want to go too deep into numbers because it's just numbers anyway, but it was like a huge growth in our channels, and that is mainly down to Le Mans Ultimate being released and us having sort of the first-hand knowledge about the game. So we were in a special situation where we were sitting in the niche of the sim racing niche already in R Factor 2, and then Le Mans Ultimate came out with being based very much on R Factor 2 as we all knew it. And so as people have referred to me as being the face of R Factor 2 in the past, that was the perfect starting and stepping stone for us to grow ourselves, grow our community, grow as a streamer as well. In 2024, thanks to Le Mans Ultimate. So that undoubtedly likely being the highlight of the year. But there were so many other highlights, which were the 24-hour race that we did in Denmark with Jesper and Alex Siebel. Sim racing dudes hitting the real track in a real 24-hour karting race has been exciting, has been exhausting, has certainly been kind of a milestone in life as well, right? Like, it's really the first kind of race where it's not like, okay, it's a 20-30 minute race against good drivers and it's completely random. No, it is like still random, but a 24-hour race within a local championship there. So that was, I think, race 4 out of 9 or whatever, where we've been flown in from Germany, taken part in a 24-hour karting race. That was literally nuts. You guys have seen the videos on demand about that, like the look behind the scenes, my vlogs on it. I have probably done a playlist on it as well. So if you want to know more about that, feel free to browse our channel here on YouTube. That has been a highlight. Simracing Expo has been a highlight because, believe it or not, it took me 5 years to make it back there, because all the other years some other stuff was going on. Whether it was FSR, Formula Pro, GT Pro, Le Mans Virtual Series, it really was an esport event every other time in the middle of October. That made it some sort of inconvenient or even impossible for me to get there. And maybe I want to differentiate on that because I am happy to go to Simracing Expo for my personal needs, for meeting friends, for meeting drivers, meeting competitors, meeting organizers and manufacturers. And that's the dead end. Like, that is the baseline on what I love being on Simracing Expo. What made this event special, though, was being in that group with F1 Creator Series and Sim Racing Center people. Really lovely dudes, all of them streamers, some sort of influencers. Like, a really interesting group with a lot of personalities, a lot of diversity, but all were sharing the same common thing, which was sim racing. And that is that has been like an absolute pleasure to be with these guys, and I'm looking forward to be with these guys again in the future. So I think those are the highlights really of that season. But since today's Esport Diary is also not only about recap of the highlights, it's also about kind of evaluating how this year were. I'm coming back to my title, my solo year 2024. It has been the first year since, I think, 2013, where I have raced, worked, streamed, or whatever else I did in the sim racing world as a 100% freelancer. Not being contracted to a team, not being a direct ambassador for anything for a full year, like not being contracted at all, just really doing the things that I wanted to do, doing the things that the community wanted to see. Most importantly though, rising my own horizon, going into new formats, going into new techniques, learning, editing, storytelling, a bit more proper cutting, improvement in equipment. It was the first year where sim racing as a whole, where you're not thinking like, okay, what am I going to do this year in sim racing? What is the best prize pool to go for? What is the competitions that we're looking forwards to? We kind of did that as well, but with a total different mindset. And you guys remembering me racing FSR this year? This is like the least remembering I have about 2024, because effectively what I did, I only helped with my license to get Janis Simoncic the seat in FSR that he wanted. And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do it too. I'm just gonna do it for the content, right? And this was the scope very much when I thought about what to do in racing. This is why I raced Mercedes ACC, because a lot of people wanted to see us doing ACC at some point on our channel. And I was like, this is the perfect opportunity, because I'm emotionally a little bit easy to get with Mercedes stuff, right? Then it wasn't the ever strongest competition on ACC, because ACC was kind of dying at that point. And don't get me wrong, I don't think ACC is dead. It will not get further development maybe, but, and I think that's the difference, the entire community on it sat down and was like, hang on a minute, this game is not getting any further development, so we consider it dead. And then AC Evo comes around, and that's going to be the new thing. And I've said this before, I've said this a couple of months back, and I'm still saying this today, because I still believe that they have just kind of soared on their own chair. They have just kind of taken away their own platform without any necessity. So many of those streamers went to, I don't know, iRacing or doing something completely different. A couple of those guys are still on the core ACC base. Some of them have moved to AMS2. But my message behind this is, a game is not even, like, a game is not necessarily dead just because it doesn't get any treatment whatsoever. rFactor 2 is an interesting interesting example in that, because its player base has pretty much stayed the same ever since, despite Le Mans Ultimate. If anything, Le Mans Ultimate has further contributed to rFactor 2 being a little bit more revived. However, the core playing base, which has always been on rFactor 2, stayed there, despite this game is not being developed since another 2, maybe even 2.5 years. So no one of us would have been gone out and saying like, hey there, rFactor 2's dead, we're off here. And I think this is what happened in ACC, and it's actually a shame that this happened in ACC to an extent, because many streamers just took away their core business. And this is a decision that has influenced me all the way as well in 2024. You guys remember about the survey that I did in October, November. I have looked at it thoroughly. I've worked through it. I took a kind of immediate takings or immediate results away from it. But this will now come back as it is 2025. I'm like, okay, I've had my first influence of the result already. I've taken like the obvious things out. Now we're going to dig a bit deeper into what is going to be happening for us at 2025. And the interesting thing was that people wanted to see iRacing over AC Evo then, and then somewhere AMS 2. Now, I have seen different streamers leaving the main platform. Marbix, for instance, he went from ACC away to more thoroughly doing iRacing. Is it a success? Only he will be able to tell from what I've seen in the comments and from what I've seen in his viewership. It is very, very easy to do a decision and just simply cut off your entire audience. And I'm seeing that myself. I'm doing a Le Mans Ultimate race and I have like 150, 200 people watching, and that's insane. It makes me feel so relevant and makes me have an even more good time. Like, obviously I do enjoy racing, whether I stream or not. But if you guys enjoy seeing that stream, seeing us racing, then this makes me enjoying the stuff even further, because I know I can be an added value to your time, or you spend a good time with looking some awesome or watching some awesome racing on our channel, and that is really what it is about to me. And I've seen a couple of comments of the guys going like, yeah, I want you to do LFM or Le Mans Ultimate, or keep R Factor 2, don't go to iRacing. I've done a couple of iRacing streams, they've not been too great. I've even done R Factor 2 streams, and they have underperformed drastically compared to Le Mans Ultimate. And that's fine. And it just influences on how we are approaching the 2025 year, which of course we will stay with Le Mans Ultimate, because this is our bubble where we are in. This is our bubble where we are great, and this is our home base. We will diversify a little bit left, right, and center. You once saw an AMS stream here. You once will see an iRacing stream there. You will still see some R Factor 2 with Virtual Endurance Championship or something else even. But you also may see AC Evo. You also may see vlogs. You also may see storytelling, more highlight videos. You know, you've seen a drastic change in the way in my content in the last half a year, and that was sort of a real project. First of all, to grow as a content creator, to grow as a streamer, and that journey will continue in 2025. And I'm really looking forward to see what you guys are thinking about all that. And of course, again, feel free if you have something direct you want to tell me right now, put it down in the comments area below. I'm happy for your feedback as well. And we're just going to take it from there. And then last but not least, coming back on 2024 as my first solo year, and the year where esport really hasn't been a major thing. There is a change in mindset that has happened throughout 2024. It is the first ever year out of the last 11 years or 12 years where literally no important online championship, whether that is with prize pool or for the glory or for whatever, has really happened. So our streams were pretty much just standalone races, you know, camera on, stream on, one race to do, race closed, maybe an impact on driver rank or safety rank on the Le Mans Ultimate online platform, but that's it. This has changed now a little bit with the VMS Pro Series starting in the end of 2024 and online championships on Le Mans Ultimate. Still though, as a baseline, there is no esport competition happening at the minute, which makes 2024 the first year of really, what am I going to do week in, week out? Which direction am I going to go? What is the level of flexibility that I'm taking away from not being contracted with anything? Literally being able to decide whatever I want to do, whatever it is. If I want to do F1 Championship, if I want to do I don't know, rallycross, iRacing, last to first challenges, whatever. It didn't really matter at all because I had no contractual obligation. And that in the beginning was nice. Mid of the year got a bit like, nah, what am I supposed to do really? And then in July, me being like, let's just make some time out of that. Let's make some effect out of this. And it's like, no pain, no gain. Go into the editing work, learn techniques, learn programs, get more creative, have an ideas out, get a bit of marketing stuff done. And I was always being like, yeah, let's deal with that when there's time for it. And this time there was no denying that there was time for that. So in I went, right? And apart from that, the 2024 year has been special simply because it was the time as well where my body, my health, my mentality, my overall well-being has finally shown off what the last 11 or 12 years have caused in the background. So this year was like starting to struggle with different things, starting to develop and to grow as a personality, to grow in mental strength, to grow in reflection very much more than ever before. And that is an important thing. That is probably the most important part of this we're going to take into 2025 as this new ability, or also the pain to do something. Like, obviously there is still a period where I'm struggling with certain things. So this is where I need to work on myself. This is where I need to improve my mentality, increase my resilience as well to an extent. This year has taught me so much in so many different aspects that it would like blow off the video if I go dig deep into everything. But the key message I'm trying to get out is like, it was the first time where it's like really, okay, this is a break now, and now we fix other things that have been lingering in the background for a while. To make you guys an example, 5 years back, I played handball, was doing sim racing side by side. Then with the corona, handball kind of came to an end. You started to do like home training and stuff. On the other hand, esport pitched up. So I was getting myself into the sim every day. I was doing less walks. I was taking less runs. I was taking less fitness sessions. My body shape became worse and worse and worse. And now those kind of things are striking back with like lower back pains, shoulder pains, stiff necks, sometimes having a bad sleep, sometimes just, and you might laugh about this, I'm 32 years old. Such a 2-hour 40 race that we did in VMS Pro is taking the shit out of you. It's not like you're doing it in those young years where you're like, yeah, we're gonna drive 24-hour Le Mans with us being a group of 3, 8 hours driving everyone, middle of the night, 5 a.m., no issue whatsoever. It may still work, and I'm still able to do it. But Jesus Christ, on a Monday after, I need a day off to recover from that stuff. And this is simply something that hasn't been there in the last 11 or 12 years. You've been functioning so well, you've been so deep into the game, that those things kind of were hidden in the back. And now, as the front scenery was done for this year, we had a change of perspective, we had a change of duties and stuff. That backside, so like, right, now it's the time, here I am, work on me. And this is the challenge that is going to obey me for 2025. And I'm also afraid will be a challenge to be kept and to be worked on for every other year to come. And this is why 2024 has been special in so many ways. Speaking about 2025 though, that is something we're going to cover in the next episode, and I hope to see you guys on the next Michis Esport Diary as well, where we're going to have a little bit of an outview into the 2025 year to come. What's our plans? What do we want to do? And maybe also what was the learnings from this year, from 2024 year, that we want to dignify and intensify on in 2025. Till then, guys, thank you very much for watching. Again, if you appreciate also the personal insights here, give the stream a thumbs up, subscribe on the YouTube channel, follow on Twitch, and see you next time. Bye bye.